Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the Guyana Learning Channel's News in Capsule for Thursday, February 17, 2022. Our top stories tonight are: EU commits funding to aid Guyana's fight against climate change, and Guyana to develop an electric vehicle industry. In the world of sports, Massey removed as F1 race director. In the region, Duke and Duchess to visit Caribbean in March. And internationally, Australia's largest coal-powered plant to close. With the details, I am Danelli Singh. European Union Ambassador to Guyana, Fernando Pons Canto, said the EU is committed to assisting Guyana in the fight against climate change. Ambassador Canto said the EU recognizes that Guyana is threatened by the rising sea levels and has over the years invested to enhance the country's sea and river defense capacity. This commitment was boldly stated as he made remarks on day 2 of the International Energy Conference and Expo at the Marriott Hotel, Georgetown. He said that corporate responsibility is key, pointing out Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeu's call on oil companies to protect the environment. He highlighted that in December 2021, the EU invested $1.78 billion in Guyana through its budgetary support program that will see majority of the sum going towards sea defense. The ambassador also highlighted that he was happy to hear that Guyana remains committed to achieving its zero carbon emissions by 2050. He said Guyana's commitment to its global commitment is fundamental to the entire world. This piece was extracted from the Department of Public Information. Guyana will now be pursuing a low-carbon transportation infrastructure to reduce the demand of imported fossil fuels for vehicular transport in 2022. This was disclosed by Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips on the third day of the International Energy Conference and Expo. Prime Minister Phillips said Guyana remains committed to a low-carbon economy while at the same time advancing its transition away from conventional energy sources. To accomplish this, the government intends to foster the development of an electric vehicle industry to substitute fossil fuels with electricity while enhancing the ability of the electric grid to integrate high levels of intermittent renewable energy. To this end, the installation of fast charging stations for electric vehicles will be piloted in 2022 in regions 3, 4, and 6. This would be supplemented with future initiatives to increase efficiency levels of vehicle consumption of fuel, Prime Minister Phillips said. He noted that the new oil-producing nation intends to create an energy mix using low-carbon energy sources. He noted that the new oil-producing nation intends to create an energy mix using low-carbon energy resources, such as solar, hydro, wind, biomass, and natural gas. He said the energy mix will lead to more than 500 megawatts of newly installed energy over the next 5 years. It was pointed out that the gas-to-energy project will play a major role in government's effort. The Prime Minister pointed out that Guyana's energy transition will generally undergo 3 stages. From 2022 to 2027, there will be a combination of natural gas, hydro, and solar power. Stage 2 will see the replacement of heavy fuel oil, the expansion of wind farms, and the commissioning of Guyana's second hydro plant from 2027 to 2032. The third phase, which will commence from 2032 onwards, will see the continued expansion of those projects using new technology. However, at present, Prime Minister Phillips said government is developing solar farms and mini hydropower systems in the hinterland, with close to $1.1 billion provided in budget 2022 for that purpose. He said that access to energy has far-reaching economic, environmental, and social benefits. This piece was extracted from the Department of Public Information. And now in the world of sports. Michael Massey has been removed as F1 race director as part of a restructure at governing body, the FIA, in the wake of last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. FIA President Mohammed bin Salman announced a series of changes as a result of the inquiry into the controversial end to last year's World Championship. Massey failed to correctly apply the rules in a late safety car period and had a direct impact on the outcome of the title race. 2 men will now alternate in the role while extra help will be provided to officials. The new race directors will be Eduardo Freitas, who formerly performed the role in the World Endurance Championship, and Niels Wittich, who did so at the DTM German Touring Car Championship. This piece was extracted from the BBC. And now for news in the region. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge will visit a number of islands in the Caribbean next month in a bid to reaffirm ties between states and the monarchy. In an article published by the Daily Mail, William 39 and Kate 40 are set to tour the Bahamas, Jamaica, and Belize. The trip also coincides with the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. This is William and Kate's first major overseas tour since the pandemic happened, and they will spend around 12 days in the region, with the issues about the environment as their main focus. This piece was extracted from Caribbean News Now. Australia's largest coal-fired power station will close 7 years earlier than planned, as its operator says it is increasingly unable to compete with the influx of renewables. The 2.88 gigawatt Eyre plant is located at the Hunter region, north of Sydney, and operated by Origin Energy. The plant will now close in 2025 and be replaced by a large-scale battery. It adds to a long list of coal plants forced shut by the growth of cheap wind and solar energy in the country. Australia's reliance on coal-fired power stations has increased in recent years. However, coal still supplies 60% of the country's electricity, making it one of the highest carbon-emitting nations per capita. Renewables accounted for around a third of Australia's electricity generation last year and are forecast to be close to 70% by the end of the decade. Last week, rival energy giant AGL said it would bring forward by several years the closure of two of its biggest coal-fired power plants. This piece was extracted from the BBC. With that, we've reached the end of tonight's broadcast. Be sure to join us again tomorrow right here on the Guyana Learning Channel for more news and updates. On behalf of the technical team, thanks for watching, and remember to protect yourself and the people you love. Stay safe, Guyana.